muted myself. Could you believe it? We are recording, everyone. We are now live. And welcome to EXPCon, and welcome to my presentation, the top 5 tips to get the most out of KvCORE. The idea is here. Let's start some conversations. Let's convert some leads. I'm going to give you some housekeeping tips, and we'll jump right in. Friends, we do have a hard stop at the end of the hour. My colleagues are following me up on how to get 10 leads in 20 minutes. Brian and Ryan will show you that. So this meeting is being recorded, and we'll be posting this to Workplace. It'll also be on the EXP YouTube channel, so do keep that in mind. If we're having issues with viewing, I know there's a lot of us in here, and the EXP support team and all of us are trying to make sure your experience is as good as it could be. Behind me on the screen, you can hit a refresh in the upper right-hand corner, and you can also hit a magnifying glass, which will bring the screen closer to you. If you still have viewing problems, I would recommend to leave the auditorium and come back in. That usually helps you out there. If it's blurry, I'm sorry. I don't know what else I can do about that. I can tell you that the recording will be crisp and clean, and do appreciate your understanding with that. So there's a lot of us in here, and I do appreciate you all being there. Let's see, did I get my colleague over here? Not yet. I'm going to have a support person. Her name is Megan. Hopefully join us here to help moderate, but do keep in mind for the chat, since I'll be presenting, I'll appreciate your understanding if I can't get to everyone. Hopefully we'll have some help in here shortly on the screen. Until then, I'll do my best to take care of everyone. Hi.
I'm here.
She's here, our sorceress and my support. So thanks, everybody. Please meet, and this is a good segue anyway, Megan. She's one of our lead and senior support folks here at Inside Real Estate. She's going to join me, help with the chat. So welcome, Megan, everybody, and once again, welcome to our presentation. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right in here. And thanks again, Megan, and thanks to all of you. Let's get right to it. And once again, as a preface, I'm going to make some assumptions. And actually, I'm going to backstep here. I want to show you something else. That you're going to know how to do some of the high-level things that I'm going to show you, from the point that I'm not going to go drill down how to show us and explain and train us how to use all these, but we have resources available to you. A couple things, housekeeping. I host 2 live trainings every single week in EXP World, one in the auditorium, University Auditorium. It's a Q&A on Fridays at 11 a.m. On Thursdays, I do an advanced class also at 11 a.m. Every Thursday, and that's in the EXP University classroom. They are canceled this week, as you might expect, for the EXPCon. And in addition, you have something called our Learning Portal, friends. So I do want for everyone here, knowing that we have all kinds of different levels of expertise. Some of you know KvCORE, maybe some of you don't. And I want to make sure we don't leave anybody behind. Saying that, so some of the things you hear, if you're out there and you're not sure how to do these things, just open the mind, big picture. These are strategies that we highly recommend you implement, and we'll get you there. So just do keep that in mind. So if you don't know how to do all these things, still take it in and just be thinking, okay, I'm going to do this once I figure out how, these preliminary steps are. Where do I do that? On the screen you should be seeing in front of you is the main KvCORE dashboard. I'm pointing you towards our learning portal, and we can get that in 2 places. This left vertical menu that you see right here on your left-hand side, I'm hovering over. This will follow you around everywhere you go in KvCORE. The very bottom choice is our learning portal, and if you click on that, that's going to bring you to our university. When you get here, what I'd encourage you all to find is called our Agent Success Plan. All right, this is a self-paced course. It is a 4-week course if you take your time. It doesn't take that long, everyone, if you want to go through this, but if you're not sure what to do with the platform, you want to learn the basics, this is where you start. Agent Success Plan, absolutely free. You can take it as often as you need. They're divided into 4 weeks. Okay, you watch these few videos, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. We have a checklist of comprehension. You can sign up for live coaching, separate from the exclusive classes we offer you folks. Just know that it's here. I want to learn how to set up my profile. How do I drive leads? Okay, this is available to you, so I want to make sure you all know you can come in, sign up for live coaching every single week. We are suggesting 1 week is the standard path, but do know if you, I talked to a lady yesterday in a booth, and she's like, well, could I knock this out in a weekend? You know, technically you could. These are short videos, maybe 20 minutes for all of the weekend content, maybe the same or a little more for week 2. Now you're going to have to do a little homework, friends, but the homework's designed to get you results. So I want you all to be aware of the learning portal. I hope you take advantage of that. This is a great way to get moving on the system at your own pace. Combine that with our live coaching we offer to you folks on Thursdays and Friday. Confident we can get you, selling more houses, getting in more conversations, right? Because that's what we're here for. So I hope that's helpful for everyone. Additionally, I'm going to share this resource with you. Marlene, I'll get you that slide deck. I'd be happy to share that with you. Stand by, and I'm going to get back there. Forgive me for the click around. I just want to make sure everyone out here, we got quite a few of us that I'm not leaving anyone behind. So just a few housekeeping, and I'll get that in your hands, I promise. Folks, this screen right here, we have live recorded webinars. I highly recommend you join Ryan for our success strategies on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. These are advanced classes on how to generate leads, tips and tricks, great techniques, absolutely free to our EXP friends and KvCORE clients. So please check this out, available to you at your leisure. Lots of cool recordings in here. Also, join our Facebook group, join the success strategies, not where we want you to go for support, great place to learn tips and tricks, really how to be successful. So I hope that's helpful. Let's get back to the presentation. Thanks for your patience on that. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Talk about it. Top 5 tips. We all want leads. But when we think about it, it's not just about how many leads can I get, but how many of those leads and contacts can I get in conversations with? Okay, I don't want to get, great, you got 1,000 leads. How many of them are you reaching out to? With KvCORE, you have the way to stay in front of 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 leads, right? So when all of us out here, we're going to have different goals, different strategies, different expertise. You first-time home buyers, luxury buyers. Maybe you're out there and you're a team. Regardless, it's about nurturing these folks until they're ready to do business with us. I can't make them buy and list when I want. You can't, no one can. But what we can do is make sure you're in front of them at the right time with the right message. So let's talk about it. You have everything you need to stay in front of these folks in a meaningful way, so you're top of mind when that cycle comes around. What do I mean by cycle? We all know out here, for home buyers, it's what, 2 months to 2 years? How about listers? 3 on average, 3 to 5 years? So that guy or that gal that said, hey, I'm just browsing, I just started looking, the more of those we get, then we start, if we keep nurturing them in a cycle, when their time comes, you're going to be, the agent they work with, and I hope you're ready to do the business. So let's keep these things in mind, that what does make the difference is you. We could turn all these automations, all these cool little features we're going to talk about today, and what makes the difference is always you picking up the phone on top of all of it, and you sending a personal text or you sending a personal email. That makes the difference. Keep that in mind. Everything else, we're going to fill in the gaps. So, and if we'd like here, before I forget, let me go ahead and I'm going to share this link so everyone here can take a peek at it. I think this will help. So bear with me while I get this out for those of you that asked. Put this into the chat. Follow along. There you go. All right. back to business. So let me give you a quick agenda, and then we're going to jump right in. Now, we called it 5 tips. There's lots more. This just really challenged me to focus on what, and my team, I involved everyone, on what would be the most valuable things I can do right now with my system to start conversations and start getting closer, to doing business with these folks. So actually I have 6 here because I just couldn't whittle it down more. And I want to start at the very beginning to remember, hey, I just imported a bunch of leads to my system. Now what? Before I look and we look together at everything in your system, let's make sure that we're engaging with them and you understand how we can truly leverage the mass email and text feature once you import your leads. Because now it's like, great, you imported your leads. Now what? Well, let's talk about that. I'm going to navigate away from here. I'm going to pop over to the KvCORE platform. And forgive me if I move too fast in the regard that we do have a bit of content to cover. And I am making some assumptions that, hopefully some of you out there have done this. And if you haven't, you can go to the Learning Success Plan, or excuse me, the Learning Portal for the Agent Success Plan, and we'll get you all trained up there. But for now, I need to get my leads in. For those of you who haven't, you go to Lead Engine, you look for bulk import, you get started, and we have 2 paths for you. You can do it yourself, or you let us handle it. Friends, let us handle it. We have a short video. We'll give you a template you can look at. You can schedule a time with my lead configuration specialist. You submit your file. So, those steps, let's make some assumptions there. Now they're in. Now what? This is our bonus tip to get the most out of Core. And and think about this for the types of leads and contacts you have, all right, on how you could apply this maybe in a different way. Now, for my demo I'm using here, I am logged in as a company admin. You are going to see some leads that say private. Hey, this is another bonus for KvCORE. Guess what? No one can see your leads, friends. So if I was your office admin, that's what it looks like, but just that's why it might look different from yours too, right? So nothing to be concerned of. Know that your leads are your leads and no one can do anything with them. I can see it might exist, but nothing more than that. So I just imported my leads. Now what? We need to reach out. If you're not sending them to your website, if you don't let them know that your website's out there, how are they going to know what, how you can help them? It's just something to keep in mind. I mean, you might say, hey, if they're not looking at your website, they're looking at someone else's. Step 1, leads imported. Let's go ahead and filter those leads for those folks that we just imported. It's super easy. We give everybody you import a hashtag, so I can simply type ahead import, and anybody I've ever imported will be here and I could pick that group. So let's say we pick that group. Let's say we pick a couple groups. We apply that filter. We need to reach out. Pretend this is a large number. So what you can do is here's your tip, on the right-hand side on rows, upper right, I can increase to 100. I'm then going to select the entire group. In the upper left-hand column, I'm going to select mass email. Guess what? We have an email already built for you. We click in the template field. All you got to do is type ahead. What did we just do? We imported. Let's type import. Guess what? We got a default email for you. So as soon as you get your leads and contacts in, here gives you a starting point. Yes, you can change this to your wording, your messaging. This gives some calls to action to engage everybody, drives them to your website, and we try to start to have a conversation. So right out of the box, I imported my leads. Let's reach out. 2, for those that do have a phone number, hopefully we all know, and if you don't, it's true, text messages get better responses than anything else right now, as you might expect. Let's follow up. Let's send a mass text, right? Maybe we do that 2 days later, 3 days later. How could I do that? Here's a good trick. We have tasks. So I could select that whole group I just sent an email to. In the center, I find more actions. I add tasks. And I say, hey, let's send follow-up text in 2 days. Okay, this is how you can use this in a big, easy way to save yourself time. No send follow-up text, right? So I send this, you'll be notified of your daily calls and tasks, what to do. You add that tasks on that day. I simply repeat. I hit mass text now after selecting that group. This time I go to canned response. I click in the field, what did we do? We imported. What do I type? Import. We have a default leads text now. So we're, hey, what are you doing? Have you bought or sold? Can I help? Here's my website. You could tweak it and send it. Step 1, leads imported. Let's engage. Make sense? It's a bonus one, and it seems kind of obvious, but we're going to leverage this in a few other ways next. But I want you to start to understand that, hey, having a lot of leads is great, but if you're not reaching out to them, it's not magic in that regard, right? Well, you got to do something about them. Why would I want to go to your website? Tell me. All right, so here's a starting point. Get back to our deal here, and let's take a look. Take a deep breath and say, okay, that makes sense. Import my leads, reach out with a mass email, mass text. All right, and that kind of gets your feet wet on how you can use that. Templates you can build, right, for emails and texts. But if I'm not reaching out, I guarantee you someone else is. So let's be the one that does. Let's move on to our official top 5 now. We like to call it here lead CPR. Lead CPR. What do you have in your system already that we can do something with? You want to know a crying shame? I send a mass text, I send a mass email to my pipeline to find out that someone already bought a home. Think about that. Hey, just wanted to reach out, see how things were going. Hey, did you want to see any homes this week? Hey, did you already buy a home? Oh, thanks for checking, but I already bought one. Well, that's a big fail, right? In the sense that I had someone in my pipeline and somehow they bought from someone else and not me. Let's make sure that never happens. We can use saved filters in our smart CRM, and we can really just identify all of the buckets of leads that we have: prospects, buyers, sellers, sphere, closed clients, and make sure that we're staying in front of them in a meaningful way. We have a multitude of tools. We're going to talk the scheduled mass emails here in a minute, but let me show you how this could work. Let me back out of here, pop over to KvCORE, and I'm going to share something with you here. You can please add to this. What this is a quick, I like to call it my short, effective text messages. I'm popping this into the chat. Please click on that. You can make your own copy and start to add to it. This first message, did you want to get out and see any homes this week? Whew, this one will get people popping, not even a hello and goodbye. Take these, we can add all these templates to KvCORE, and then quickly leverage that to engage with our leads. And what I'll recommend to you is perhaps you make yourself a recurring task in the system. Use it like a true CRM. I personally, as an agent, I'm not going over a quarter. I say 3 months. That person that was just browsing, that person that, not interested right now, not looking, hey, keep them on a newsletter. Keep them on a monthly market report. Send them a holiday card at Christmas. We have all these tools for you. Just keep in mind, do something though. And don't take the just browsing as it's not a good lead. I love just browsing. That means you probably don't have an agent just yet. Great, search on my site. I get enough just browsings and I'm closing deals every month. It just does take some time to nurture those till they're ready. The lead I put in today, the lead I reach out today, that's when that cycle really is going to make a difference for you. So take this. Now, how could I use this? Let's go back to KvCORE. I'm in my smart CRM, and I'm seeing, let me take a quick pause here. I know I'm covering some content, seeing a lot of chats. I'm hearing them coming in. Everyone, this is recorded once again, and I want to mention that how to do specifically like add a template, how to add those messages to KvCORE. I'm not going to have the time to go into that today. We have all those resources. Check out the Agent Success Plan. Visit the support center from KvCORE, for example. If you wanted to know, hey, how do you create your own messages and templates in KvCORE? We have a quick little search for you here. Okay, so just come up to the top, search all articles, come in here, and here's how easy it is, and I'll share it for those I saw that one come in. Canned response. How do you set up canned response email templates? So I could build these so I don't have to rewrite them. All right, great question. Let me put this into the paste, into the chat. There you go. So let's put it into action. Let's give you a business use case. Saved filters are your best friend. Look up here at the top. See some of these I have? Active buyers last 30. Active last week. All leads, all types. Brett's leads. Call it what you want. Company-owned leads. Prospect last year. What are these and how can I leverage that? Let me give you a use case. Let's hit filter. And let's say, hey, you know what? I need to talk to some folks. I need to stir up some business. I got to get some people in contract. I got to get some conversations. Well, how about we start with my prospects, new leads, and active leads in my filter. That's where I'm at right now. Show me everyone. I'm going to come down to my behavior filter. We have these 4 boxes down here. If it will work for me here, bear with me. Computer's thinking about it. There we go. Let's show me everyone that was last active in the past week. So show me prospect, new lead, active on my website last 7. Now I could just apply that filter, but wait, how about I save that filter? How about I call that active prospect, whatever you want it to be, and new leads, active last 7. I save that filter. I like to go for the low-hanging fruit first. You're on your way out the door. You might be saying to me, Brett, I don't have time for all this. Once we build these features or these functions of automation, save filters, these follow-up smart campaigns, the email and text templates, I can use them because watch this. So I say, all right, cool. Let's go ahead and select this entire group on the upper left, remembering I can increase rows to 100. Let's go ahead and send a mass text. How about I reference this guide here? I'm going to try what Brett's saying here, see if this works. I'm going to copy, did you want to get out and see any homes this week? Come over to here, paste that in. And remember, if I wanted to build a template, which is what I'd recommend, I could come here and have just pulled it. And actually, I think I've already made one of these before. There it is. So I already created this as a canned response previously, and then you fire this out. You'd be surprised what kind of communication this get. And you know what else? You might be thinking, well, I have them on smart campaigns. I have them on property search alerts. I gave them a call. This right here, a personal, just, hey, you want to get out and see any homes? Try these things for your active leads. Then I can start to break it down. I can try, all right, maybe I want to see everyone that wasn't that active to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Maybe I go last 30 days. Maybe I go last year. People that have never been to my website. And even send the same message. The idea is that you're reaching out in a way that you can use this to your advantage. So lead CPR, what can I revive that I currently have? I can get very specific, as you know. Maybe I just want to see my sellers. I'm a listing agent. I come down to lead details, show me just my sellers or show me just my buyers. I could pick creation dates. Right? The idea is here, no lead gets left behind. Don't make the mistake that I did, assuming that they're going to remember, oh yeah, Brett's an agent. 5 months later, to find out, oh, I bought someone else. Sorry, that was my fault. Right? What are you doing about it? Would be my challenge to you. So not just taking the active idea, but to also go inactive. What about your sphere? What's going on with your sphere nowadays? Right? How about your sphere that hasn't been to your website in the year? You think that they're going to be thinking of you when, if you're not staying in contact with them? Maybe I put a recurring calendar event on my Gmail calendar. Every 3 months, reach out to my sphere if I haven't been already. Maybe I just assign a task to this whole group. Save that filter, select that group. And what are you going to do with these folks? What am I doing with them here? Something to keep in mind, Now, hopefully for your sphere, we have other techniques that good segue for me actually to come into. Let me show you something else that might really open your eyes to what's going on or not going on in your KvCORE system. Check this out. So here I am in my smart CRM. Bring your eyeballs to the center where it says last visit. This last visit. If I hit the ascend and descend, as you might expect, it's going to stack them now based on recent and least recent activity to my website. Look at that. And I bet all of us have something like this. Maybe these are leads that I imported. If I see an NA here in this column, look at all these. They've never been to my website. What good are these in here? What am I doing about it? These are what I'm talking about in lead CPR too. You know, what's your message? Why should they talk to you? You know, with a simple click of the column here, I can send that mass email, send that mass text. Maybe I create a task that's going to bleed into our daily calls here in a second. Making sense? Of a quick, remember, leads import, reach out. Next, lead CPR. Let's take a peek at what's going on in my system. Who's been to my website? Who hasn't? What are you going to do about it? Let's take a sidestep, everybody. Bring your eyeballs over to the left-hand column, and let's click on Business Analytics. Business Analytics. I'm going to go back for 1 second to my presentation here. I'm going to blow it back up. Just keep us on track here. All right, so we talked about I imported leads. What do? I reach out. 2, lead CPR. What kind of leads do you all have out there? You have your sphere, right? You have your prospects, your new leads. What about my closed clients? I can filter for any and all of those. The point and takeaway here is you're doing something about it. All right, I'm going to give you some more tools to keep in track, keep in front of them, I should say. Let's move on to 3, or actually 2 in our official, of daily calls. This is huge, everyone. This is a huge one. And I'm seeing questions here. Give me about five more minutes to get through daily calls, and then I'll take a breather here, see how we're doing, Megan, and see if hopefully everyone's with me. I see some issues with seeing the screen. Everyone know that this is recorded, so you will be able to see this clearly in a replay, if you will. You can leave the room and come back in. There's a refresh to my upper right. You can also magnify. Apologies that it's not crystal clear. I know that can be frustrating. I'm going to keep on track, everyone. Daily calls, right? Top 5 tips. How do I make this system work? Hey, how about I do what everyone else isn't? You know, most days here, all these systems that have texting and emailing, right? And everyone, we're on drips. We're sending them texts. We're sending them property searches. You know what makes the difference? You calling them. How about if there was a way that you would know out of all the leads in your pipeline, which ones were most likely to chat with you today, for example? You know our system's validating leads when they sign up on your website. We see if we can find any information from their Facebook profile or anything that's publicly available. We can find more information. And we can also search their social profiles, right, on that. But what really makes the difference is you making a phone call. So let's show you how we can do that. Before we jump in, actually, I did want to take a peek at our business analytics. I don't know how many of you have ever actually clicked in there. If you'll go ahead and do that now, just like to, let's give a breather sidestep. What do you have in your system? How many total leads and contacts, and where are they in the various stages? The funnel, if you will, to the win of close, right? That's what this is all about. We're all working towards that close goal here. Let me click on tab 3. Tab
Like when Shelly walked
3
in, there was
from the left, my Kbcor activity. And this is going to be my segue after daily calls, but I want you all to see this just for a second. To the far left, or left, other left, right, far right, unengaged leads. Look at this opportunity I see here. Out of all those leads, 1,200 of them have no search alerts. 13 have no market reports. Almost 900 don't have smart campaigns. This is our tip number 3. Now, you might go, whoa, what's going on here? Well, we're going to help you do something about this. But before we do, just to get you excited, I'm going to back up one and go to our dashboard. We're going to talk daily calls. Daily calls. One very powerful thing that we can all leverage right now today with the system. most of us hopefully out there, you're getting that email, that daily email that's letting you know about your calls and tasks for the day. Where are those coming from? What are those? Well, they're calls and tasks that you've scheduled for yourself. They are calls and tasks and reminders and emails associated with our smart campaigns, our drips. We can call them smart drip campaigns, email and text and follow-up call reminders. And there are also behavioral calls. What does that mean, behavior calls? Meaning, here's an example. One of your leads flagged one of our behavior alerts in the past week, and you haven't called them in the past month. One of your leads sent you a text, but you haven't called them in the past week. These are daily calls. That is today's summary. So when you get that, and I can see that from the main dashboard, I can hit my calls, and I have my tasks. Now there's really three categories, right? Associated with the follow-up campaigns, ones I schedule for myself, and behavioral targeted tasks and calls. These can all be accomplished and made with our predictive dialer on your mobile app, right? So I don't even have to dial the numbers. You're actually just hitting go. It's a countdown, tells you who you're calling. Now, yes, you can call it straight from the platform. I could make this call right now and use my smart number to call from my desktop. When I use the mobile app, you have a little more, let's call it options, because I can decide to display my smart number. We all have one, or my actual cell phone number. And I could call my entire list all at once and just hit go, right? So daily calls are huge. Do what other people aren't. Pick up the phone and take a look at these calls and make sure we're not missing out on any opportunities. You can knock out, 10, 15, 20 calls, in 20 minutes while you're waiting for your next appointment. So that's what daily calls means when you're on your mobile app. Guess what? You can also pick your own group. Remember how we just ran that filter in Smart CRM? I just backed up. Second choice down from the top. I'm selecting Smart CRM. I'm going back here now. All of us familiar with hashtags? Well, hopefully you are. Hashtags are the magic button, in my opinion, in KvCORE. They can do lots of stuff. Now, at its most basic, it's a label system for you. It's a way that you can call a lead whatever you want. It's hot, it's not, it's cold, next year, looky-loo. It's a cash buyer, investor, second property, investment, likes horses, zebras, cats. Any of these things can be hashtags and labels for you. But as I said, they're also a magic button. Let's say today, I'm on my way out the door. I don't have but 5 minutes. I gotta go. All right, I pop into KvCORE. I go to my Smart CRM. Hey, show me my most active people. I just want to see everyone, anybody. I go down to my behavior filter that was just on my website yesterday or last 7. Again, I want to call these folks. All right, maybe I apply that filter. I have these 4 people, 5 people. How about I call them when I go out on the road today? How the heck do I do that? I make a hashtag. You can, on your mobile app, use your predictive dialer to call exactly who you want to call. So in addition to our daily calls, you could say, hey, I'm these people, or people that I haven't reached out to, or my sellers, or these seller leads, or these new leads that I've tried to reach but haven't yet, any and all that stuff. All you have to do, filter for who you want to call today, select the column in the upper left, select the whole group, making little circles over here, go to more actions in the center, kind of upper center, and let's add a hashtag. I can do it in mass, right? So maybe the hashtag would be Brett Styles for today, whatever you wanted to call it. Just remember, hashtags, at least 4 characters and no spaces. That's it. Hit enter if you never created it, and I just created a hashtag. So then I went ahead and updated that whole group. I close down KvCORE, take my phone, go out for my day. I have 5-10 minutes. I log into KvCORE mobile app. I have today's dials, as we discussed, and maybe I want to dial by hashtag. And so you can create multiple groups of people you wanted to dial, hit go, there's a countdown, and it'll connect you. and then you can log it and be on your way, and hopefully one step closer to really getting in touch with these folks. I'm gonna take a breather for a moment. Megan, how are we looking out there? Is everyone doing okay? Am I missing out on questions? I know there's a lot of us out here. How is it looking okay? Is everyone following along?
Good. I think everything's looking good. Just answering some questions around the KvCORE app and smart number questions. So
beautiful. Thank you so much. Hey, thanks everyone for your patience. A lot of us out there, and God bless Megan over here. Thanks for your help there. I'm going to keep on going then. Okay. All right. Review, back up. Okay. Leads in. I send a message. Second, what do I already have in my system? I can filter specifically for what I'm looking to do, and then use our mass email and text tool to engage. 3, daily calls. I now know the system is, looking at my leads, suggesting which ones are most likely to talk to me based on behavior or lack of behavior. And I can also create my own calls to make, right, based on what I think is important for my business. Let's move on. And actually, I'm out of count. I know bonus doesn't count, but that's all right. Maybe I'll just call it the top 6. Okay, this one. Ensure all leads have smart campaign search alerts. Guys and gals, we have an easy way for you to do this, and this is really important, right? And I'll say it again. Forgive me for repeating myself here. And that is, if you're not reaching out to them, someone else is. You have the tools in front of you to do something about it. Let's go once again back to our business analytics. Business analytics. It's our left vertical menu where we do all our fun stuff. And this gives me my overview of everybody in my pipeline. I see in this demo account 1,400 leads, and you can read, 128 sphere and prospect, 28 closed, etc. Along the top, I have these 6 other tabs. Okay, we're going to go ahead and click on KvCORE Activity for this discussion. In here, and before you all see it, I know the lead response rates are coming soon. I've been promised that this is a true thing. It's gonna happen. Hopefully all of us know that we are monitoring that now. This has happened. We just don't have it in this analytic, right? And actually, I'll even do a sidestep just for everyone out there. I mean, it was a big deal when we started tracking email open rates and clicks. Know that you can do this, and all you have to do from your main dashboard is you can select from all activity to email events, and email events will give you everybody that has been clicking and opening your emails. Once again, from the main dashboard, it's the second box right underneath that tasks tile, upper left. Just select email events and it'll show you everybody that's been clicking and opening. And when I'm looking at a lead, bear with me here. It'll show you that they've clicked on the leads record as well. All right, so something to keep in mind. All right, back to, I'm going to stay on track. I know our time's dwindling, and I want to make sure you folks get this. So this is coming, but we are monitoring those. Now, although this stuff on the left under the activity summary is important, what is the system doing for you? What kind of engagement do you have? I'm bringing our attention all the way to the right to unengaged leads. Who do you have in your system where this is a hole for us here? And I see this number a lot. I imported a bunch of leads. Maybe I sent that first email, that first text, that second text. Maybe all those leads I imported, I met this guy in Atlanta, and he, after a presentation, he said, you know what? I put all those leads in, I hashtagged them, put them on my mobile dialer, and just sat there and made calls. And that guy turned up business more than any other one in his brokerage because no one else was willing to make the calls. So he used his dialer. My point is, if they're unengaged, we have opportunity. Even those folks that haven't responded, you got to put them on a nurture drip. I like to start at the very beginning with no campaigns. You have out-of-the-box campaigns. I can attach them 100 people at a time, 100 leads at a time. So this is telling me I have 889 leads that have no campaigns. Now, I know that it will be appropriate. Some leads, some contacts should not have follow-up campaigns. I get that. Let's decide that each and every one of us ourselves and make that decision. So what we can do from here is go ahead and click that view button, which will redirect us back to the Smart CRM with that filtered group of leads that don't have smart campaigns. Everybody with me? Another way you can do this, if you don't want to be in business analytics or you're just already here in the Smart CRM, you can run this filter manually. I could hit filters. I could then bring my eyeballs down here on the left, look for behavior, my behavior filter, and then I have a toggle for show me everybody that doesn't have a running campaign. It's important. So I apply that filter. Here they all are. I have 800 of them. Now what? Now what? And that's for you to decide. Each and every one of you will have to decide what to do next. But let me give you the recommendation. Hopefully, as you all know, or if you don't, you're about to, our campaigns, all of us, they're specific for status and type. That. Notice this column, second from the left, sphere buyer, new lead buyer, prospect seller, new lead buyer. Let's hit the filter button. Let's just, for examples, go new lead. I'm going to toggle over new lead. I'm going to move down one more filter box and go to buyers. Show me all my new lead buyers that don't have campaigns. Those are the 3 filters I have right now. I apply that filter, and that should give me that filtered group. This is important. Why? I have a new lead buyer campaign. We all do. I have a new lead seller campaign. I have a prospect seller campaign, sphere, homeowner, etc., on down the line. We have campaigns for every single one of these statuses. Additionally, for type. So I have new lead buyers, new lead sellers. I have active buyers, active sellers, client buyers, client sellers. I think you all get it. So if I know that I have campaigns already built for me for all of these status and type, and I now know that these new lead buyers have no campaigns, forgive me while I scroll to see how many I have. I have 911, it looks like, don't have of these new lead buyers. Remembering that I can do 100 at a time, here's how easy it is. Once I've filtered it down to the status and type, new lead and buyer, I know that they don't have campaigns. Here we go. Upper left column, I select the name column. That selects 100 right now. In the center, where is that? There it is, more actions. Select more actions. Guess what? All you do is add campaign. All you do is add campaign. So I come in here, I select the drop down, and what are they? They're new lead and a buyer. So where's my new lead buyer campaign? Oh, there it is, default new lead buyer. If these were new lead sellers, then they'd be sellers. Everyone follow? If this was my closed clients, if these were prospects I just engaged. Now I have no doubt out of everyone out there, there's a lot of us, so various levels of, I know the system, I don't, I'm brand new, I'm not. You're asking how campaigns, what is this, where do you go? Trust me, we go over that in the Agent Success Plan. I will give you a 2-minute tour because here's the thing. There might be a few of you out there. Let's say you did what I just did. Let's say you went, you found the leads don't have campaigns, you filtered specifically for status and type, you went ahead and selected that group, you went to more actions, you add campaign, but when you select your drop down, you didn't see the one you were looking for. It's not here. You say, I don't see a default new lead buyer or whatever, right? A closed one or a client one or a contract one, all of them. If you don't see what you're looking for, all that means is either 1, you don't have it turned on, or 2, you don't have it at all, and you need to go check it out from your library. So let's use, for example, let's find one I don't have here. There's prospect homeowner. I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just pretend for the moment I don't have a new lead buyer. I'm looking and I say, I don't see one. Well, let's close this down. We're going to do a quick jump over to our smart campaign. So from here, left-hand side, 4th choice down from the top, upper left, let's click on Marketing Autopilot. So if I go to Marketing Autopilot, all I have to do is find smart campaigns. Then start a campaign. Once we arrive here, your my library, this is what our default view is. You see 10 at a time, and these are the campaigns I have. If you bring your attention down to the bottom, you'll see I have 52 campaigns, which, yeah, those are mostly just test campaigns. You don't need that many. But my point is you can see only 10 at a time. If I bring my attention over to the right, far right, and look to the status column, I can see which ones are turned on and which ones aren't. You know, I can say blue to the right, this sphere campaign, no messages I made, it's on. Property boost in Facebook, it's off. If it's off, then I don't have it available to select. Does that make sense, everyone? So if I was looking for a new lead buyer, all I'd have to do is, well, let's make sure, let's see if I have it. Let's type buyer and see all my buyer campaigns. I have 19 of them, it looks like. They're all about buyers. So if I was looking for new lead buyer, maybe I'd say, all right, that's a lot. How about we do new lead buyer? Right? Okay, there they are. So if I didn't have these here, you'll notice that I do have this on, but let's pretend we didn't have this. And you say, I don't see a new lead buyer. No problem. Let's go check it out. All you'd have to do, bring your eyeballs up to the top. I've highlighted the KvCORE library, making little circles over here. Bring your attention to the far right, right above add campaign, hit the drop down, type in buyer, and there are all your buyer campaigns: active buyer, client buyer, contract buyer, new lead buyer, and our conversion default buyer. Everyone, let's skip this one. Everyone is good to go. The new lead buyer is a revamp of that one. Fine, but it's just not as built out. So that makes sense, everyone. So if I wanted to see seller campaigns and I didn't have one, I'd type in seller. If I was looking for sphere of influence, SOI, those are my sphere. What about my closed? I think you all get the idea. So if you're not finding what you're looking for, go to the KvCORE library, type it in. Then all I have to do is add it to my library here on the right. Once I do that, it's now yours. Then you find that, you click on the campaign's name if you want to review it. I know you all do. Trust me on this. These have been tried and they are true, tested and true. But this is where I would start, everyone. Yes, you can create your own. Yes, you can change these. You can do lots of stuff, but we're just talking top simple 5 tips. Make sure you got your folks followed up with. All right, so let me back up to my smart CRM. Let me back up one more, forgive me, everybody, back to my presentation. Make sure we're all following. We're over here on ensure all leads have smart campaigns and search alerts. We went to business analytics, got an overview. I went to the smart CRM, and all I did is filter for everyone that didn't have leads, or excuse me, didn't have campaigns, and then I can attach them. What are we doing on time? 13 minutes. Now the search alerts are a little more advanced, but you're all here, and I'm going to share it with you. It is recorded, and I'm going to leverage that hashtag a little bit once again. I used it for daily calls. Now I'm going to go for my search alerts over here because this is huge. I think search alerts, personally, agent to agent, are the most important thing we can do in here besides sending a personal message or a personal phone call. So you could go to business analytics again and find those leads with no search alerts, or I could just clear my filters, then come to my filter, scroll on down to behavior. See these 4 boxes on the left? Signed users, lead details. Let's click on behavior. Now show me everyone that has no alerts. You know, I won my first deal simply because of a search alert, because I thought that that guy would want pools. So I added pools to the search alert. He reached out to tell me, I don't want pools. I sold him a house anyway that didn't have a pool, but you get my point. Having that extra thought, that extra, touch of, I think that he or she might like this, can be all the difference. So let's identify those. So the first thing I do here, I hit that filter. I know how many leads. 1,200 leads don't have search alerts. Should they? That's a question. My closed clients, probably not. Well, definitely not. My sphere, no. So be thinking that. Then I need to do one more filter, forgive me while I scroll, of getting specific on search alerts. So maybe I start with same kind of thought. Let's filter down. Show me my new leads, and prospects that don't have alerts. How about those guys? hit that filter. Now let's see how many I have. Forgive me while I see. Looks like I have 1,000 now. I broke it down. Now our challenge here, if I'm sending a search alert, what if I look in this location field here in the center, right underneath mass text, and I see I don't know where they're interested. I love these because I'm going to take a shot in the dark here with these folks. So if it's appropriate, meaning they're not my sphere, they're not my past clients, and I think that either I don't know any better and I want to send them search alerts, start sending them search alerts. They can all unsubscribe, right? You can do something about it. At the very least, maybe I send them a mass text and email with a link to my website, right? Here is my website. Let me know what you think, and try to, if you feel more comfortable, get them to opt in themselves and sign up. You could do that, or you could just assign them and start sending them properties, or say, hey, I wanted to let you know I am going to start sending you properties. Let me know what you think. So either way, what you feel most comfortable with. If I was to assign them in mass, how are we doing? 10 minutes. We can do this. Now, here's the trick. How the heck, 100 at a time, let's say I have these 100 leads, how the heck am I going to assign 100 leads a search alert? Well, you're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to either pick an area that you don't know if they are interested in or not. They're going to let you know, or maybe you pick two. So pick your main area. Over here, I'm in San Diego, so I'll just use Carlsbad as my example. But let's say, well, they've never been to my website last visit. They're not looking for anywhere that I can see for these leads. So maybe I go hashtag them, more actions, add hashtag, and I say something like, oh, I don't know, no area, and I'm going to add Carlsbad. So maybe I say no area Carlsbad, and I hit enter, and I update those tags. Everybody with me so far? So all I did is identified a bunch of leads that had no specified area, and I'm going to start sending them to an area and see what happens. Like I said, they can unsubscribe if they're not interested. They can reach out to you. But if we're not doing anything, then they're never going to do anything. They're dead weight in your CRM. So let's find out. If you don't feel comfortable, once again, send a mass text or a mass email, give them a link to your website, see if you can get them to engage. All right. We have to move on because I have one more item to go. So forgive me if I pick up the pace a little bit. So I have these hashtag leads. What do I do with them? Well, you're going to go over to your marketing autopilot, on the left-hand side. And now I'm going to look for search alerts, and I'm going to learn more. Once I get here, I can assign in mass a search alert to those folks, right? So forgive me here. Let's learn a little bit more. And actually, now that I think of it, I think I did this backwards, but it's all right in the sense that I wanted you to understand that thinking. So let me show you how to create an alert. The idea is everybody that has this hashtag, I'm going to assign this search alert to. Does that make sense? So I tag them. Forgive me, my computer's running a little slow here. Of course, right when I need it, right? Let me try one more time. There we go. All right, so I create an alert. Oops, there we go. And what I'm doing is I'm adding that alert by hashtag. So now all I have to do, so for that no alerts Carlsbad hashtag, don't worry about the scope. That for most of us just should be you, the agent. Okay. Wherever I'm at, it just doesn't matter. Whatever you are, the agent. Now I pick my area. I might say Carlsbad was my area. Do your type ahead. If I wanted to do multiple areas, maybe around here, I want to do Oceanside. Maybe I want to add one more. And I'm taking a shot here, but it's better than nothing. If you're not sending them there, then I guarantee you they're looking at Zillow. So go ahead, make your search alert, property type, bed, bath, price range, acreage, square foot, frequency, open house, add alert. Now I could go backwards. Now this is the way I was saying actually. Now that I've created this, then I could go back to my smart CRM, right? And then say, okay, I'm going to tag all these people. Maybe I go on to page 2. Because remember, I can only do 100 at a time. So if I had said, okay, prospect and new leads, no alerts, I come over here and now I assign that hashtag and I say, okay, let's hashtag them the no alerts Carlsbad, right? Just like we did. Carlsbad, no alerts. Then when I update those tags, that's going to automatically apply that search alert. Does that make sense, everyone? Now, we could also, of course, do that backwards in the sense that it's real easy if I go, hey, show me everybody that's interested in Carlsbad. And if you have more than 2 or 3, I can do it in mass. So I could say, okay, come down here and I'll use property interest down at the bottom. And I say, hey, show me everybody that's interested in Carlsbad and apply that filter. Then I could, if I'd already created that alert, I could select that group in the upper left, go to more actions, add hashtag. What is it? It's Carlsbad no alerts or no area Carlsbad, right? And once I update that, I just attached 3 search alerts all at once. That makes sense, everyone? Quick, easy way to plug some holes. Okay, I have 5 minutes. Megan, how are we looking out here? Are we okay?
Doing good. Speed typing.
Excellent. All right, thank you, ma'am. Really appreciate your help. All right, everybody, let me go back and I'll try to do 5 minutes, the fastest 2 features we have over here, because I do have a hard stop. I have some of my colleagues coming in. So you'll notice here I have birthdays and anniversaries, scheduled mass emails, sphere and close clients, featured property of the day, squeeze, landing pages, text codes. Everyone, I'm going to be in the overflow room, KvCORE auditorium later today. I'll address this one specifically and give you some time. I won't have enough time to cover it right now, friends. So I'm going to go over it later today. But I am going to cover birthdays, anniversaries, scheduled mass emails. What do I mean? I'm going to back to the system. I'm going to click on a lead. Guess what you have already for you? For your clients, for your sphere, and anyone that would be appropriate to send a birthday card to, 1. 2, I sold a house for these folks. You can send an annual HTML e-card in both instances. All you have to do, go find your lead, pretend this is your client or your past client. Left-hand side, halfway down, hit more details. Right over here, right underneath that summary. This opens up a bunch of fields for you. Now just search for last close date. Click it. Put in when you closed them. Toggle over send email text, save. Now you're sending them an annual HTML house anniversary card. Keep scrolling down. Go to birthday. Put in their birthday. Same thing. Send email text, save. There they are. Now, I know you want to see what they are, what they look like. No problemo. Before I leave this part, I would also put my sphere and closed clients on market reports once a month. Stay top of mind. It's a non-intrusive, information-rich data about the area you pick. So maybe I say Carlsbad. I can send this once a month. That's how I would set up my clients and my sphere. I would, stay in front of them, non-intrusive, market reports, birthday, anniversary, house, if appropriate. Now, go ahead, close that down. I'm going to go to Marketing Autopilot, left-hand side, birthdays and anniversaries this time. Learn more. So Marketing Autopilot, birthdays and anniversaries. These are the 2 things we just did with that single lead. If you want to see what it looks like, I know you do, this is how easy it is. You can just go ahead to the bottom. You'll see happy birthday email, happy birthday text, change template. All you have to do is to select it, right, is see which one this is. It's a birthday. Just type birthday and it shows you what it looks like, right? So all I did is type to head happy birthday. That's what it looks like. Yes, you can replace these. You can clone these. You can put in your own. You don't have to. They're already here. Same thing for the house anniversary. Click change template, and it was anniversary. Well, why don't we type anniversary? There it is. That's what it looks like. Okay. Why not leverage that? Let me see. I have 1 minute. All right, everyone. This is what I'm going to show you in 1 minute. Scheduled mass. Leave you with? How about a Thanksgiving card? Follow with me now. Marketing Autopilot. Marketing Autopilot, left-hand side. Identify scheduled mass emails. Schedule an email. Schedule an email. Now, the good news is you already learned a couple ways to do this through our tips here today. Let's go ahead and in the upper right, schedule an email. We have 3 options for who we want to send it to. It can either be a saved filter from CRM. You just saw us do that. We just all built some save filters. It could be a hashtag, somebody that I've given hashtags, or it can be 3 statuses. Maybe my sphere, my clients, how about my close? Okay? Scope is you. I just hit the top of the hour. I'm gonna have to end here, folks. You can say when to send it. Oh, I don't know. How about Thanksgiving? How about Thanksgiving on, I don't know, 10 a.m. in the morning? Find template, click in the field. All you have to do, everyone, just type holiday. And we have Halloween cards here for you, Christmas cards, New Year's, although these are outdated. We need them for 2021. Don't use these yet. But here's Thanksgiving. So if I wanted to send everybody my sphere client closed, there it is. Schedule that, and you're done. And I'm going to leave with that, everyone. I will go over my featured property of the day in the overflow. It's going to be from 12 to 3 in the KvCORE auditorium, I believe. So come by and I'll talk about featured property today. With that, everyone, I'm going to step aside from my colleagues, and I certainly appreciate all of you and your patience with me. And Megan, special thanks to her. Thank you for making this possible, Megan, and the EXP. See what you have next, everyone. You have, oh, this is going to be a good one. You have with our very own